This is DIY Reptiles, and today I'm going to be moving Petey, my Mississippi map turtle, outside along with a small red-eared slider in a tub because I believe they both have some form of shell rot. Now, I've been dealing with shell rot with Petey for like ever since I've gotten him, and where he had it is now like cleared up. I think it's scarred now, so it's basically as healed as it will be. But now he's getting it in new places for some reason, and the only thing I can think to do is to move him into outside where he'd be getting constant UVB light and clean water and all the lovely things. So right now he's in here with two Washita map turtles, and I'm doing a water change on the tank, so that's why it's drained. But the Washita map turtles will be moving into a new 125 gallon aquarium I have, and then they will be in there alone. And then Petey, along with Marcus, a red-eared slider, a smaller red-eared slider, which I did previously have in with Petey, will be moving out into the tub. Now, the only reason I can think that Marcus had it, because he's always looked really good since I've had him, is the situation he was in before I got him, and then it's like coming up now. Or just the fact that he was in with Petey in the past and it kind of spread to him. But the other turtle that I have Marcus in with, his other part, that's Adam, who is similar size to Marcus. It's basically the same deal with both the turtles. They're like the same. Doesn't have it, so that's very strange to me. Anyway, I'm going to be moving them into the tub, so I have the tub outside. Now I'm going to set it up. Here's the container these two will be going in. It's 50 gallon, but I'm only going to fill it up like maybe halfway up to here. So I don't know, it won't be like a ton of water, it won't be a ton of space really, but since it is quite wide and everything, it'll be good for these two turtles. So there's Petey. You can see he's not a big turtle, but he definitely needs work done there. It's getting bad, and I don't like to see Petey like that. And then here, let's see if I can find, I believe it is Marcus. I might have those two names switched, but their names aren't, I don't know. They're not real resonated with me. But oh yeah, so here is him, and as you can see, there's the beginnings of shell rot there. I don't know why, but he's in here, and it's pretty dirty in this container, but it's also clean enough to keep lots of healthy turtles in here. I mean, I don't know if you just saw, here's Lewis, and his shell is like perfect. So yeah, his shell is amazing. There's just a little something on it, I don't know. And then his colors are amazing. He's doing great. And then we have Pee-wee, she's doing great. And then we have, yeah, so we have a bunch of turtles in here. They're doing really well. This is probably the best place for this tub because it'll get a lot of sunlight. And I'll also be supplying some shade. We'll put some decor in here, but now I just got to fill it up with water, of course, and I'm going to clean both the turtles before I add them in here. So while I'm moving around the rocks, I'll just talk about, it is probably the fact that I put Marcus and Adam as well, and some other turtles in with Petey. I'm not sure why I did this. I just wasn't thinking right or something. Just something was going on with my brain. So I don't know why I did that. I'm not sure. But that is probably why Marcus has ended up with shell rot. But he has been doing well since he has been in this enclosure, because it's actually been a while. At the point of me editing this, it's actually been quite a while that he's been in this enclosure. I started to film them being washed, but I think my phone must have shut off or something along those lines. But here is the enclosure currently today. So it's very green. That's because the sunlight, there's just a lot of sun on it. And then I have tons of duckweed in here. I'm trying to get duckweed to just coat the surface to take up all of the stuff that's making the water turn green, and to block the sun a bit, because this enclosure gets like super hot, which is just not very good. So I'm hoping to kind of block that off. But Petey ended up like part of like the end of his shell, like the marginal scutes along the very edge of the back of his shell, like part of those like completely rotted away. So it actually looks a lot better since I've been cleaning him, and I think that that is really helping. And it's the same thing with Marcus. Marcus is not getting worse at all. He just has 2 little spots on his shell, and I think that cleaning him is doing him very well. But they've just been living in here, and I think it's actually helping a lot. So you might be wondering, like, if the problem with Marcus was that he was in with PD, why did I put him in with PD again? And to answer that, it's because now they both have shell rot. So I want to isolate them in their own tank. Preferably I do it in their own 2 tanks, which I probably could do at this point actually. But I think it's just easier if I have them both in here. They both have enough basking area and different things. I put this piece of wood in to block some of the sunlight and so that they can climb up on it. But every morning I go ahead and I wash each of them. I just fill this. I have water sitting here to use. I think it just turns yellow from the sunlight, probably algae or something. But I make sure it's the same temperature so then they don't get shocked, because if I just got out of the hose it'd be really cold. And then I have beta iodine. Here, providone iodine, I mean, it's the same thing. I think beta iodine's just a brand of it. It's there, so then I clean it with these 2 separate toothbrushes. Every single morning, I clean each of their shells. So I'm gonna try to get them out of here for you, so then you can see what I'm talking about with PD and their different shells and whatnot, because I haven't exactly shown you that in this video, and I can't find them. Okay, here is Marcus. So you can see really pretty, like a really beautiful little red-eared slider. I think he might be growing too fast, honestly. His shell is a little bit deformed. He was born that way, it looks like. But here you can see right there, a little bit of shell rot, and it's still, I'd say actually it's kind of hard now. That's one of the things I look for, is if it's like soft tissuey, then it's rotting away. And if it's not, there's flies everywhere, then it's more like scarred over. So it's mostly hard there. And then it's the same thing just on the other side. But he's really beautiful. And it's probably doing him a little bit of good that I'm handling him every day, because you don't want to stress out your turtles. That's something that happened with Petey, and I just stressed him out because I handled him too much. I was cleaning him twice a day, doing a bunch of stuff on his shell, and he stopped eating. He got stressed out. I don't think that Marcus is having that problem. He appears to be eating from his weight the last time I weighed him, and that'll be coming out in a future video, the weighing of this month. But he seems to be doing all right. You don't want to stress out your turtles, but it can be good to have to hold them, because I do need to do this. Like, this is something I need to clear up before it gets bad, and I'll show you what happens if you don't clear it up before it gets bad, and that would be what has happened with Petey. So here I found him. It's kind of hard to get him out with all his duckweed, but here we have Petey. Now Petey is an adult male Mississippi map turtle. I really don't expect him to grow anymore, but you can see he appears to have shell rot on his back, even in places that not along the margins. But there you can see that black stuff, and that's just area that's rotted away. And you could probably, I just kind of picked away at the stuff that wasn't really supposed to be there. And the problem with that is if you have the scutes and they're not shedding properly, which the turtle scutes do shed, then they can build up bacteria underneath them. So that's why I picked that away, and then I'm cleaning that, and it doesn't seem to be getting any worse, like I said, so that's good. But here you can see underneath him is where I cleaned him before, but all of this is growing back, which is like amazing, because it's grown back a whole lot since I've gotten him. Like, it was kind of it was caved in, it looked really bad, and now it actually looks like proper shell again. And then the other areas around I think are just scarred, because they're not growing back, but they're not getting worse either, and they're not fleshy, so I think it's just scarred at this point. But you can see that white tissue there, I'm guessing that that's going to turn into shell, but the black area I don't think will. I think that's just a scar. So what's happening with Petey is he is a Mississippi map turtle. I got him quite a while ago. I was giving him, the people didn't even know what he was. They were keeping him in a 10-gallon, maybe 2 gallons of water in it, something like that. It was ridiculous, absolutely terrible setup. But I was watching one of Shelled Reptiles video, and he is somebody that I know, much more popular YouTuber than I, and rightfully so. His videos are pretty cool. He has a lot of really cool setups, and he breeds box turtles, which is awesome. So I was watching his video. He has lots of turtles, a lot more than I do, which is completely fine. I don't need any more turtles. They're a lot of work. But speaking of that, he has an adult female Mississippi map turtle as well as a younger female Mississippi map turtle. And he recently got that younger female, and he was like, I was really wishing this was a male, but it wasn't. So I was assuming that maybe he wants to breed one with his female, and I have a male that I mean, I can house it, and I'm cleaning it up, and I'm working at it, and I have time to work on it, and I want to work on it. But I was thinking if he wanted it, he would be the only other person that I would trust with a turtle in this condition. So I asked him, and he said that he would want it. He would want him, first of all, and he would be able to work with them and stuff and provide a much bigger enclosure than I am. So I think I'm going to go ahead and try that. So by the time this video comes out, he might already have PD. I'm not exactly sure the schedule and the time frames and everything going on, but that is the plan currently. It's not that I can't handle this turtle or I want to give up on this turtle. It's none of that. It's just that I think that he might enjoy keeping it more than I do, I guess. Maybe that's not how I should say that. I'm not really sure how to go about it. It's just that I want turtles to have really great homes. And if that means I keep them, then that means I keep them. But if it means somebody else keeps them, that means somebody else keeps them. I just want them to have really nice big enclosures, and I know that Shelled Reptiles would be able to supply a really great enclosure to PD, and I'm sure that he could do well with them. I know that he's worked with turtles like this before, and I just want to see, honestly, I want to see if he's going to have better luck than I am, so then he could tell me what exactly to do if I have to deal with this in the future, because that's kind of what PD's been so far, is just a learning experience, so then I know exactly what to do in the future with a turtle like Marcus or something. So because of that, I can act on it quicker, and I can deal with that. But as of right now, I'm not really taking in turtles. I'm not really taking in more reptiles or animals, because I want to get everything into a routine, a system that I can not have to worry about so much. So I want to make sure all my animals are very healthy and they're all doing very well, because I want them to do very well. And then I can see about other things. I want them all to have completely proper enclosures and really nice big enclosures, and I think the way to do that is just take time, focus on every animal, and make sure they're getting everything they need, and that takes a lot of time and research, and I just really want to specialize on the animals that I have. So this is the plan for now, and I think that PD will do very well there, and I'll continue working on Marcus. But I hope that you guys enjoyed. If you did, like down below. If you have any comments, in the comments below, and if you want more content, then subscribe. Have a fantastic day.